Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me? Okay, so thank you, students and parents, for coming down this morning for the open house at NTU. Okay, so I'm Assistant Professor Jonathan Yeo. Okay, and I'll be giving an introduction to economics and our program at NTU. Okay, so let's start off with what is economics. Okay, so as an economist, okay, when I go and meet people and I tell people I'm an economist, most of them will be asking me to predict the stock market for them. Okay, so people mostly associate economics with things like the words economic recession, economic outlook, and economic growth. Okay, but economics is actually much broader than just these things to do with finance and the stock market. Okay, so today I'll be taking you through a short walk through all the broad applications of economics. Okay, and how the econs program at NTU will be like. Okay, so some terms that you may be familiar with also involve economics. Okay, so it's economic bihun and economic rice. Okay, so you may be thinking, okay, why is there the word economics in these kinds of food items, right? So there's a grain of truth to these terms because they are economic because they capture issues related to allocating our limited income. Okay, so they're economic because they help us save our budget. Okay, and economics is related to this because we are concerned with allocating our scarce income. Okay, so in particular, there's the definition of economics is the widely used definition is that economics is the study of how society allocates scarce resources. Okay, so in this allocation of scarce resources, and the definition of society can range from very small things, micro level, to very large things, or the macro level. So those who have done economics at JC before, you should know that you do two different sections, right? Micro and macro, right? Okay, so first let's take a look at how society can be segmented into different levels. Okay, so you can have families which are smaller level, consumers which are very small entities, or you could have larger entities like firms, organizations, the central bank, okay, or the whole government, or even okay, countries themselves. Okay, all these are all part of society. Okay, in regards to resources, you can think of okay, allocating resources as goods, the tax budget, okay, how to allocate human and physical capital, how do individuals allocate time okay, for their activities, okay, how do you allocate your income between okay, different kinds of goods, and so on. Okay? So if you notice here, there are also things like psychological resources, which is something you wouldn't really consider with economics, okay, but it's also okay, part of our field of study. Okay, so life is a series of choices, and all we can do is to make them. And because okay, our life is full of these choices, okay, that's where economics okay, becomes very important and permeates okay, all aspects of our lives. Okay, so just to give you a broad idea of what the general topics of economics are. Okay, so this is something from the okay, Journal of Economic Literature classification system. So there are topics from A to Z. Okay, and then if you just focus on one of the topics, microeconomics, okay, you see that there's also subfields. Okay, so many subfields within microeconomics itself. So you multiply that within each of the A to Z topics. There you have so many different things that you have as well. Okay, so these topics can range from things that you may not have even have heard before, like neuroeconomics, or well-being, or studying marriage, or marital dissolution, family structure, or even things like culture. Okay, but there are also some things that you may have heard about before, okay, with respect to economics, like business cycle fluctuations. Okay, how should you do taxation and subsidies? Okay, how do you study firms in oligopolies, and also things like economic development and economic growth. Okay, so there are a very broad range of topics in economics. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, okay, economics is concerned with the allocation of scarce resources. So why are we so concerned about it? Okay, because allocating any kind of resource, whether it's a very, very macro level resource or a very micro resource, okay, allocating it efficiently is going to be good. Right? So if you do things efficiently, then you can improve everybody's social welfare. Okay, and that's the main target of what economists study. Okay, we want to improve efficiency in the economy so that we can improve everybody's welfare. Okay, so for example, some questions that we try and target are, that we sort of analyze are what are the trade-offs between different choices, and what are the opportunity costs with different choices. Okay, and we want to look at what's the most efficient choice. Okay, and what may be some frictions that enable us, that sort of hinder us from making these correct choices, and also how to change the decision environment. Okay, so for example, what kind of policies to put in place so that people actually make the efficient choices and reach the efficient outcomes. Okay, so what we usually use as economists is that we will use a combination of theory and empirical tools. Okay, so firstly for theory, we sort of analyze some issues using mathematical models. Okay, so I know some of you are a bit concerned with the math part of this course. Okay, but for economics, we don't really just focus on doing the math. Okay, what we are interested in is applying the math and interpreting the math in particular ways so that we can get some insights out of it. Okay, so it's actually more important to be able to interpret things as being related to some economic field, rather than being able to do differentiation, for example. Okay, so one example here is that one simple example that you learn maybe in your micro, if you take the micro 1 core course here, is that you learn that certain different entities will make choices to maximize some objective. Okay, so we represent the objective by some mathematical function, which is here we call it fx. Okay, and then the bottom line is the constraints that they are facing. So gx is less or equals to c is some sort of equation telling you what kind of constraints that the entity has. Okay, so you can interpret this equation in many different ways. For example, in consumer theory, we usually refer to fx as the utility or the happiness that people have from consumption. Okay, and gx, remember, is the amount of expenditure you have, and c is the amount of income that you have to spend. Okay, so remember gx is less than c, so your expenditure has to be less than your wealth. Okay, so in producer theory, your fx will be profits, so the firms want to maximize their profits. Okay, and the gx less than c can be taken to represent what kind of technological constraints can the firms face when producing the output. So where the x here may be things like inputs of labor and capital. Okay, Okay, so these are just theories, okay, but we also want to be able to apply these theories to the real world. Okay, and the second part of the economist toolbox, okay, is the empirical portion, or how you apply it to the real world. Okay, so it's important to be able to test your theories using real world data. Okay, an important key part of your economics program here will be to use tools like statistical analysis, okay, and econometrics to allow us, okay, the economists, to form better models about how the world works and to make predictions as well. Okay, so the idea here is if we make better predictions, we have better models, okay, then we can have better policies and higher efficiency and higher welfare for society. Okay, so there are a wide variety of empirical tools, okay, that we use as economists, okay, and they can be sort of generated in two different main sections. Okay, one is firstly the step of getting the data. Okay, so one aspect of as an economist would be you need to be able to learn how to get the data which you can analyze. Okay, so this might involve, okay, extracting public or private data, okay, getting permissions and so on. Okay, or you might use experiments to generate, okay, your own kind of data to sort of understand, okay, what is going on. Okay, or you can use surveys or even things like web scraping, which is quite big nowadays. Okay, where you sort of program bots to sort of extract these data from the online, okay, websites. Okay, the second part of this is once you've got your data, then you need to analyze your data. Okay, then, okay, some of you, if you've done maths, then you should know that you should have learned some things like statistical tests. Okay, you also learn things like regression analysis, which is sort of fitting a line through a set of data points. Okay, and then you have learned things like Bayesian analysis if you choose, and machine learning if you choose, okay, the relevant courses. Okay, so the economist toolbox is actually, okay, one important aspect of the economist toolbox is to, okay, apply these statistical methods to better understand how things work so that we can, okay, make the proper decisions. Okay, so at NTU, okay, what we're aiming to do is to train you to be well versed in this economics toolbox. Okay, so we want you to be able to do practical thinking from an economist perspective. Okay, so you don't have to know the models, but you need to know so you don't need to know the math that well, but you need to know the intuitions between what the math is trying to say. Okay, and another thing that's important is that, okay, we want you to have, okay, strong analytical skills. Okay, because these skills will be things that you can apply to a wide range of different settings. Okay, so no matter what job you go to, okay, having the proper analytical skills is important for you to sort of help solve the job issues, the job problems that you face. Okay, so now I'll move on a bit to the curriculum that we're having at NTU. Okay, so you'll start off with, in year 1 and year 2, okay, your first few courses will be what we call the core courses. Okay, so everyone, okay, will have to go through these courses, which are the mathematical foundations, okay, which include mathematics for economists as well as probability and statistics. Okay, so this is because later on we'll be doing more advanced data analysis, so we need everyone to have the proper background before we move on to that. Okay, at the same time, okay, you'll be simultaneously completing the economics core courses, which are, okay, the microeconomics, macroeconomics, and econometrics. Okay, so the econometrics will follow after you've done probability and statistics. Okay, so you usually do the micro and macro core first, so that we get everyone on a common footing or on their understanding about, okay, economic issues. Okay, so for those who've been in junior college and you've done economics before, okay, maybe you will have already learned some of this micro and macro stuff already. Okay, but as the difficulty progresses, okay, I mean, as it goes from level 1 to level 2, level 3, okay, you'll be learning progressively more difficult things, which are more compared to what you've already done in JC. Okay, but the idea of this core is to get, okay, remember, to get everyone on the same footing, okay, in terms of their economics knowledge as well. Okay, because the economics program, okay, it doesn't have any prerequisites for you to do economics actually. Okay, so this means even if you don't have an economic background, you can take the course. Okay, so rest assured that, okay, once you finish these courses, okay, you should be at the same level as whoever did econs at JC. Okay, so after you finish these core courses, okay, you then move on to your electives. Okay, so electives are courses which you can choose, okay, to your liking. Okay, so as I mentioned before, there were A to C different kinds of fields in economics, right? So here we also have many different fields, okay, which we cover in NTU as well. Okay, which range from money and banking, monetary economics, development economics, okay, to things like well-being, labor economics, and so forth. Okay, and at the same time, okay, because we are trying to equip students with the proper skills, okay, so that they can apply it to, okay, their workplace, okay, you also have a large number of applied courses. So these applied courses, okay, what they're trying to do is to give you the proper skills, okay, to apply to the different fields. So the fields, okay, tell you more about a specific field like labor or public policy. Okay, the applied courses give you the tools to be able to apply to these different fields. Okay, so we feel that this structure, okay, the two different kinds of courses complement each other, okay, very well, and it also will help you, okay, in looking for jobs in future, okay, because these skills are very transferable, okay, to different environments. Okay, so in terms of your core curriculum, okay, we talked about the economics courses, okay, but there are also other courses that you need to take, which are the, okay, interdisciplinary collaborative course. So these are core modules which are sort of interdisciplinary in nature. So everyone in NTU needs to take these courses. Okay, and we also have the broadening and deepening electives. So these are things that you can actually choose. Okay, so when you take the, so these are free for you to choose from either economics or from outside economics. So it doesn't have to be restricted to economics itself. Okay, so some students might want to, okay, deepen their understanding of economics. So that's why they take more economics modules like applied economics. Okay, while others may want to do something outside their field. Maybe they want to do psychology, they want to do some courses in sociology. Okay, you can use these broadening and deepening electives to do those kinds of courses. Okay, so, and also at the School of Social Sciences, okay, we have a compulsory internship, okay, which will be done at the end of year 2 or towards year 3. Okay, so there are two different kinds of internships that you can do. There's the two main ones are the summer internship as well as a semester-long internship. Okay, so the summer internship will be, okay, during your holidays. Okay, the semester-long internship will be during your actual school term. So if you do you'll get more credits, okay, for completing the semester-long internship, but at the same time, okay, you might need to squeeze the modules that you need to take into other semesters, so there will be a bit of a higher workload, okay, for those other semesters. Okay. So most students, okay, when they reach the final year, okay, they will have to do a graduation project. So the graduation project is required for you to get your honors degree. Okay, so if you are sort of applicable, so if your grades are good enough to qualify for honors, okay, then you have to do the graduation project. Okay, so this graduation project will be a year-long project, okay, where you work under a professor, together with the professor, to do a research project. Okay, and then at the end of it, you have to write a essay or a research paper, okay, and then submit it. Okay. Okay, so this is the general weightage, okay, for the economics curriculum. So your core courses, okay, plus your prescribed electives, okay, will take up, okay, around, okay, half. So the econs courses that you have to take, okay, will take around half of your AUs. Okay, this optional one where you can choose whatever you want to do with them, okay, they'll take around 1/4. Okay, and these are the internship as well as the interdisciplinary course. Okay, so there will be a total of 125 academic units. So you can think of one academic unit as around 1 hour of teaching time per week. Okay, and you double it because you need to do your own study as well. Okay, so usually, okay, most students will do around 4 to 6 modules a semester. You can take a maximum of around 6. I think in a rare case, you can do 7. Okay, but the lesson duration for most modules, okay, is around 3 hours per week. So those are the modules which are 3 academic units. Okay, so if the module is 3 academic units, okay, you study for 3 hours. You go for lessons for 3 hours. Okay, and then you have 3 hours that you need to do your own preparation and your homework and stuff. Okay. Okay, so later on, okay, we'll give you the opportunity to ask us about anything that you want to know about life at NTU as well. Okay, so lessons here are generally structured as similar to junior college. So you have lectures as well as tutorials. So it's very similar to what most of you have already been having. Okay, so I think most of you will be comfortable. So the size of the classes can differ. So some lectures are very big. For example, in the core courses, you have around 200 students. Okay, but once you go to the field courses, people are choosing their own preferred, okay, fields. Okay, then it can be small from 20, or it can be the popular ones can be like 100. Okay. Okay, so now, okay, what other opportunities do you have at NTU? So we have the exchange programs. Okay, so there are 3 different kinds of exchange programs that we offer. Okay, one is the GEM Explorer, GEM Discoverer. So the Explorer is a sort of a holiday exchange, okay, where you go for a shorter period of time, okay, and do some summer school kind of activities. Okay, so for GEM Discoverer, it's a semester-long exchange. Okay, SUSEP is the Singapore University Exchange Program. Okay, so basically you can do an exchange with other universities in Singapore, okay, for a full semester. Okay, so we actually have quite good links with all the different top schools around the world. Okay, so if you're interested, okay, in getting, okay, some experience, okay, in some overseas institutions, like for example, in the UK they have like King's College and maybe UCL. Okay, so you can always, okay, take advantage of the GEM Discoverer to go to these top schools overseas as well. Okay, and another opportunity is the Eureka program. Okay, so the Eureka program is the undergraduate research experience, okay, where we allow students to to have an attachment, okay, to a professor for 1 year, okay, or around 10 to 11 months, okay, and then they have the opportunity to do some research under the supervisor. Okay, so this one is pretty flexible. Okay, so you don't have to do just economics-related topics. You can sort of go to any supervisor whose research project interests you, okay, and then tell them that you're interested in his project, and then you can, if he agrees to take you under his wing, then you'll be able to do the Eureka program with him. Okay, but this has a minimum grade requirement. So in order to do this program, okay, you need to score good enough in your grades. Okay, so this one you can do for up to 2 times. So you can do it in your 2nd year and then continue in your 3rd year, or you just do it in your 3rd year. Okay, so some students, okay, they like doing research a lot. They continue to do a same project with the professor for 2 years, okay, and eventually sometimes they might even, okay, co-author on some research papers and then publish it as well. Okay, so this is if you're very interested in research and furthering a degree, this is a good step for you to sort of take. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about, okay, at the end of your degree, okay, what will you end up with? Okay, so your basic degree is in economics, okay, will be a Bachelor of Social Sciences. Okay, and then there are 4 different levels. Okay, there's highest distinction, okay, merit, and pass, okay, depending on the GPA that you have. Okay, and there are also other options that you can take to level up your degree. Okay, so depending on the courses that you choose for your broadening and deepening electives, okay, you can sort of upgrade your degree as well. Okay, so the first one, which is what we call the specialization tracks. So we have 3 different specialization tracks. Okay, one is the applied and empirical economics, okay, which focuses on sort of the methodology and how you apply it to different fields. Okay, one is on finance and banking, okay, and the 3rd one is on public policy. Okay, so for these specializations, what you need to do is to take enough courses which are listed, okay, under these different specialization tracks. Okay, once you've taken enough courses, then you will qualify, okay, for the specialization. Okay, and then, okay, you get an award of a letter of certification. Okay, so the idea behind this specialization, okay, is that it helps you, okay, your certificate helps you to signal to employers that you have a particular skill set. Okay, so sometimes they look at your transcript, they don't really know, okay, what are your skills, okay, but this certification, okay, and specialization will allow you to sort of signal to the employers that, okay, you're sort of very focused in this particular field. Okay, so the other way you can upgrade your economics degree is to, okay, take a 2nd major. Okay, so the 2nd major will be offered to students at the end of their 1st year. Okay, if you if you score well enough, if you have a high enough grade. Okay, so once you score a high enough grade in your 1st year, okay, then they'll ask you whether you want to take a 2nd major. Okay, so these 2nd majors will be can be chosen from any field, okay, in the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. Okay, so if you notice here, they're all from, say, this is the School of Social Sciences, the School of Humanities, and the School of Communication. Okay, So how the second major works is that, again, you need to take enough modules. You need to first register for it, okay, and then you need to take enough modules, okay, which is around 33 to 36 AUs. Okay, then you'll be able to qualify, okay, for this second major. Okay, so once you get this second major, okay, it will be reflected in your transcript, okay, that you have that you graduated, okay, with a Bachelor of Social Sciences in Economics, okay, with a second major in, say, psychology. Okay, so this is another way that you can sort of signal your multidisciplinarity and your interdisciplinarity skills. Okay, okay, the lower level version of that is the minor. Okay, so the minor is a bit more flexible. It doesn't have to be chosen from the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. Okay, so you can choose it from any particular field within NTU. Okay, so there are things like art history, business, computing, data analysis, entrepreneurship, and so on. Okay, so but the requirements of this are lower. Okay, so you just need to complete around 5 modules, okay, related to these different fields. Okay, then you get a minor, and it'll also be reflected in your transcript. Okay. Okay, so take note that all these second majors and minors, okay, the academic units that you need will come from your broadening and deepening electives, which I mentioned, okay, earlier on. Okay, so the ones that you can actually choose freely. Okay, so this is for those who are interested in the special programs. Okay, do take note that you have to apply for these special programs, okay, directly before entry. Okay, so some examples of these are the double majors. Okay, so a double major is different from an economics degree with a second major. Okay, so the main difference is that, okay, a second major, okay, has a lower weightage than your main major. Okay, for a double major program, okay, both your majors have equal weight. Okay, so in these kinds of programs, okay, what you're thinking about from the start is that you want to directly focus on these 2 different fields. Okay, and then, okay, in general for these courses, you have very few electives for you to choose because you already sort of pre-specified that I'm very interested in, say, economics and media analytics, and I want to put all my electives, okay, into doing, say, the second field, which is media analytics. Okay, so we have 3 different double majors, which are ECMA, ECPS, which is economics and psychology, okay, and economics and PPGA. Okay, and these also have a higher number of academic units than a standard economics degree. Okay, so if I recall correctly, it's 127. So here you have around 3 or 4 extra modules that you need to take. Okay, okay, so the other special programs that are not related, they are not run by our school or are joint programs with other schools, okay, are the following. Okay, so they are very similar in structure to the double majors. Okay, so we have things like mathematical sciences and econs, okay, economics and data science, PPE, economics with a second major in business, and a double degree. So the double degree is the 5-year program. Okay, so if you do it more intensively, maybe you can shorten it, but this is one of the longest programs that you can take in NTU. Okay, so the red ones highlighted here there's actually going to be a separate talk on this in the afternoon. Okay, and if you can't make it in the afternoon, there will also be recorded videos with regards to these 2 programs. So these are the sort of interdisciplinary focused, okay, econs courses as well. Okay, and they are relatively popular. So PPE in particular was just introduced this year. Okay, so you might not have seen it in the video because it just got approved. Okay, and okay, it's going to be a program that's starting this year, and you can hear more about it in the afternoon lecture or from our staff at the booths. Okay, so just take note. Okay, for all these special programs, okay, you have to apply for them from entry. Okay, and for these special programs and double majors, okay, you basically have a more fixed curriculum compared to the standard econs program, where you have more leeway in choosing what you want to do. Okay, so finally, okay, what kind of career prospects do you have? Okay, so most of our students go on to the finance and insurance industries, as well as public administration, okay, and also quite a wide range of other kinds of fields as well. Okay, so this doesn't reflect, okay, what you can go to. It reflects what the what the student population likes. Okay, so a lot of them like to do to go into the banking industry and also work in the public sector. That's why there's this higher majority of these. Okay, but in general, okay, with your economics degree, okay, you should be able to apply to a wide degree of different fields. Okay, because of the sort of technical skills they have learned, okay, as well as the analytical skills that we sort of inculcate in you. Okay, so in summary, okay, so I would say that okay, the economics degree in NTU okay, is a very broad-based program. Okay, we also focus a lot on application okay, to the actual real world. Okay, so some programs might be a bit more technical. Okay, they don't cover a lot of how you can actually apply these mathematical models to real life. Okay, but okay, our program we try and okay, have a balance of okay, being rigorous okay, in the theoretical aspects as well as also okay, focus on how it can be applied to the real world. Okay, so that's why I think okay, we have quite a high median salary for the economics graduates as well. I think it's around 4,003 in the latest income survey. Okay, so that's all I have for my presentation. So now we have the Q&A. If you have any questions about student life, okay, you can also ask, and then I'll direct you to the proper person to ask. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand, and then the student ambassadors will come to you and then pass you the mic. Yeah, so if you don't want to ask to the mic, okay, maybe if you wait a while, then we can also have a chat at the front of the lecture theatre as well. So we still have some extra time. So if you have any questions, you can also ask me directly later. Any questions? Yeah, so if you have any questions, just come to me. So we won't have the public Q&A. We have a private Q&A. Okay.